Hello everybody, welcome to the Parlor of Magical Curiosity. And I think this is a perfect timing for curiosity because I still have some boxes and I wanna open them with you here. I'm a book lover, so this is specifically to book lovers, bookworms, and people that likes to read. I'm gonna be a little bit of the topics of witches and astrology because this is another part of, I have a tarot here. This is a box of cards that I still don't know where it's gonna be. So some of the cards are in these boxes as well. I love this cat tarot. This is very nice. So for people that loves tarot, that's a very good tarot. That would be more for people that knows how to read tarot, because it's not the original, so you have to get used to the design, right? So yeah, this is the Four of Wands. So yeah, this is like a more advanced, if you're learning tarot. I love this because it's full of cats, and cat is my an animal companion. I just can't live without cats. Cats are like my babies. So yeah, that's a nice one. But if you're learning, I bought this for my daughter a few years ago, but she's really, well, sometimes she takes it, and when she has like a question, I taught her to use the cards to resolve personal problems that she doesn't want to share, or things that are very private. So I have her cards. This is one of them, the Cherub Angel by Doreen Virtue. There's a lot of good stuff that Doreen Virtue did. I know she's now like a Christian Catholic or Christian, I don't know, but this is very nice for kids because it just gives them a little advice. Sometimes, sometimes they don't want to share. I have my kids, they have a lot of Cancer energy, planets in Cancer, all of them except the eldest. They have a lot of Cancer, so it's very difficult. They have this way of feeling that it's very private, right? So Cancerians, they don't share, like they keep everything, right? And it's impossible to know what's going on with them. So I gifted her this. She's very young, but this is very nice. This is a very nice tarot for kids to start learning how to manage their own stuff, right? And this is the Cancerian. This is the card of Cancer, the Chariot. So yeah, this is a nice, but this box is not about magical stuff or tools. This box, it says poetry and other stuff. I like this one too. This steampunk tarot. This is a completely different imagery. I'm not gonna open it. I don't use it. I bought it because I really like the all the cards. I'm not so much fan of tarot. I use it a lot, but I don't. For instance, I don't read tarot for other people, and I have my own. I have my own reasons, but I don't like to read tarot for others. Yeah, I have lately I took this new hobby. I've always liked it, but it's to improve my English and to keep my brain young. I came to Canada when I was 36, so English for me has been really a difficulty. And I came when my Uranus opposition started, so it was all very dramatic, chaotic. The signature of Uranus opposition is to destroy everything that was previously established in your life. So, and all the things that were not authentic. So people that it's now in their 36, it goes from the 36, it depends on where it lands in your chart, but 36 to probably 42, 44, depending, like it's a long span. But the Uranus opposition really changed your life. I moved to Canada. I got separated. I stopped living with 2 of my children. I changed my career. This is where I started with all the. I changed my vision of life. I changed my. You really change. It's like a new, different version of yourself. So it's very hard. So my condolences if you're going through the Uranus opposition, because it really hits hard. Sometimes people around you dies and you just have to figure out your life differently. Or I know I lost all my friends, family. It was a complete destruction of my established life. The life that I've had for probably 15, 16 years, it was absolutely destroyed. But anyways, this is part of a little bit of the old me and the new me. And yeah, let's go with the cards. This is a box that one of my friends brought me from Granada in Spain, and I keep one of my leaves from when I went to Montreal. This is the maple leaf, the original maple leaf from Quebec. Very nice. And this is from my friend Mariana. She studied, and it's good that it's here because all these books are from literature, and we went to university together. Now she's a very experienced researcher, a scholar, teacher. Oh yeah, my best friend Marianita. And yeah, I have some books of poetry here. I love poetry. It's always like a refuge. This is called What Narcissism Means to Me. This is interesting. These are books that I bought here because I wanted to. I'm in Canada, so I try to fuse myself in the environment. So English, I try, even if I know that my English is not great. And sometimes it's hard for me to express, even when it's been a while, 11 years, but I still have my problems with English. But I always try to do the best, and instead of reading in Spanish, sometimes I read in Spanish, but I've been trying to really read everything, learn everything in English. So at some point, I guess I'm gonna be better at speaking. And most of my clients, they're from everywhere. Like I've had clients, astrology clients. I used to teach Spanish in English. So I needed obviously the English to teach native speakers to speak Spanish. But then when I became an astrologer and I started doing readings, I have clients from South Africa, from Australia. I have from the Middle East, so English it's our language, right? So yeah, this is one of the main Canadian authors, Margaret Atwood. She's a very brave woman. And this is one of them. All these books have been they are now movies or series, very famous series, right? And then this is a Mexican poet, and I found this in here, and I was so excited because it's difficult to find books from Mexican authors in English in Canada, especially in Western Canada. So I was very excited, and it's a bilingual edition. This is one of the most famous contemporary poets, Mexican poets. I believe he was a teacher in my university. He was never my teacher, but he had some courses there. I probably not anymore. The other day I was looking for a teacher, and they're all gone. Like all the teachers that I studied with are now retired, or they're not teaching in that university anymore. This is a very nice book. You're Not Like Other Mothers. And I bought it because of the title. Because I'm not like other mothers. My kids could give testimony of that. Yeah, this is from the 1920s. I mean, the story, it's in during the war, between the two wars, or at the end of one and the beginning of the other. So there's a lot of stories there. And my matryoshkas, I have a lot of matryoshkas because I lived with a Russian family for 20 years. So it's like my third nationality. I've taken a lot from Russia, and I know the Russian people very well. And I like matryoshkas also because it's like us, right? There's like layers and layers and layers. And my kids like to play with matryoshkas. Not anymore, when they were younger. So sometimes there's like I have missing pieces or missing other matryoshkas that are missing the intermediate one. Because yeah, this is the one, because they were playing and they lost one part. But it's a good metaphor of life as well, because sometimes we lose parts of ourselves in this journey of living, right? And I was yesterday looking at this. This is my favorite one. I had one that was incredibly big, but I gifted it to my mother. But it was like, I don't know, it had like 16 or 17. It was amazing. But my mother loved matryoshka, so I gave it to her. It was a good gift. I hope she still has it. There's every time, every color, there's like a political matryoshkas as well. Oh my goodness. I probably have Russian. I have a lot of Russian literature, but it's not here. And this is Virginia Woolf, A Room of One's Own. This is for writers, really, what a woman needs to be a writer. It's a room of one's own, right? And here this is an essay on how to write, what a woman needs to be a writer. Very, very nice. And I have a little bit of all types of books. Julian Barnes. This is very, I haven't read this one. Actually, that's why I'm opening these boxes, because I have a lot of books and this house is small, so I don't have where to really put them together. So I kept the ones that I've already read and the ones that were from most of my books in Spanish are in the storage room. And they're waiting for my son, because my son is now going for a master's degree in literature. And so he's following my path. And he's coming for all the books that he's gonna need for that. So they're waiting for the second chance to be loved and used. So I left all my Emily Dickinson. This is one of the most important poets from the 19th century. I love these books because you can really get into, have a sense of how was life before. I like a lot the past. I really like the past. There's a lot of everything here. I have some novels that I took around. More Margaret Atwood. She's tough. This is not for having a good laugh. Like, these are stories of abuse. Well, women, we've been abused and used for so long, right? And literature is just a testimony of all the suffering of women. I actually did my degree in literature with a major in novels, feminine literature, contemporary feminine literature. So I have a lot of books from women. And yeah, they have a lot to tell. And for centuries, all the stories have been written by men. So it's been, the history of literature has been mostly recorded through the lenses of the masculine. And we need, obviously, to create balance now that Venus is in Libra. And the most we can learn from the experiences of women, the more we're going to advance, because we're still there, right? Being abused, being used, and the suffering of women, it has been intense, and we need to create some balance and listening to the stories so we don't have to repeat them over. Ian McEwan. This is a writer from, this is an English writer from the 20th century. He still writes. Many of his books have been taken to the big screen, right? So there are this very famous Atonement. I mean, the book is so different than the movie, but it's a good movie. I still like it. With Keira Knightley, about the war and love. And yeah, I have some Chekhov stories, really nice. This is very famous, The Woman and the Dog, The Lady and the Dog, The Lady with the Dog. That's one of the main, this is the one that people, teachers taught at school from the Russians. Chekhov, obviously, it's a Russian, one of the most important Russian authors. This book is very beautiful, also about the suffering of women. She's like Alice Murdoch, Iris Murdoch. She also wrote. This is a very interesting author, British as well. There's a movie as well about her life with Kate Winslet. I just don't remember. Iris, I think it's the name. It's Iris. Because she got sick at the end of her days. I don't know. She won a very important prizes, like literary prizes. I don't know if she won the Nobel. Probably not. But she got Alzheimer's disease, and the movie it's about the disease, how she lost her brain, her memory. Very sad. But she was like a very, in the 1940s, very advanced, you know, this type of women that are always advanced for their time, so they're treated like crazy because she was a feminist and very like a very liberal figure, and in that at that time, you know, in the 40s, 30s, 1930s, 1940s, that was seen as huge, right? It's like how dare you be so free. Oh, and this is Neil Gaiman. There's like a lot of British authors. I haven't read this book. This is my son reads a lot this, and I have friends that always told me, "Oh, you have to read Neil Gaiman." I've seen him a lot. I've read him, not this one, but I've read him. He's a fantasy writer, and he has a lot of conferences about writing. So if you're interested in writing, it's very good to listen to authors and to read what's their process, right? What's their process of writing? And more poems of Ezra Pound. Poetry, you don't have to really take one book and finish it. I like poetry. I use them sometimes even like an oracle. It's like I just pass by and take a book and read one poem and see what's there, right? These are the romantics, so this is, I mean, yeah, 20th century, beginning of the 20th. These are the beginning of the 20th century, but they still carry a lot of the romanticism. They try to break with romanticism, but the truth is that they just continue it in a different form. So there's like an intention of breaking the mold and start a new way of art. The same with Mallarmé. This is French poetry. But poetry cannot be explained. Like, you have to read it, and you have to read it one time and then another, because the first read is like the first impression. Then you have to read it a second time to try to understand how you feel about the poem, and then you have to read it again, trying to understand what the poet is trying to tell you. So that's why people get scared with poetry, because it's not, oh, I read and I understand at the beginning. There's a process of, let's say, translation, right? You have to translate, because the way poetry is written is not meant to be, it's meant to be felt. Like poets, they want you to feel what they were feeling. So it's not really, the cognitive process is different than prose. Uh, you have to be more patient. You have to use your intuition. You have to understand the metaphors, right? What is this word really implying? Because poets use words as painters use colors with an intention that sometimes is not a yellow is not only yellow, right? So a word is not only the meaning of the words, but it goes beyond, and the entirety of the poem has a different meaning that every sentence. So it takes time to understand poetry. That's why people it's so disconnected. And new poets like this. I love this girl, Rupi Kaur. She's Canadian, Indian Canadian. I mean, she's from the parents are from India, and she's Canadian. So that's a lot. Canada is like that. Canada is everybody came from another country. And this woman, she started writing very young. I love her. She put all her feelings in these books, and she's so famous. Like, she connected so well with the younger generations, which is amazing. So she has a job, like a very interesting job, getting young people closer to literature and poetry. She has a lot of books, and this is like the raw feminine. I love it because she's just pouring out all the feelings, all her problems, all her difficulties as an immigrant, as a dark skinned women, as a young woman in these new times. And she speaks about the body. This book is called Homebody. She speaks about abuse. She speaks about being a sister, being a daughter, being a woman in a different culture, in a different environment. We immigrants, it's very difficult for us because we we are like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We're one at home in our own language with our own family, and we are another person when we speak another language and when we're out in society. So sometimes it's very difficult to reconcile these two sides of immigration, right? Because you're never at some point you're not from here and not from there, and it's difficult to connect with others, even from your own country or from people that speaks your own language, and to connect through a different language. It's also, yeah, you change. That's why at the beginning when I was saying the Uranus opposition, you become someone completely different. And I've noticed that even when I speak Spanish, I'm a different person. With my family, I'm a different person. But when I'm speaking English and when I'm in Canada, I'm this person, the new person that was born during the Uranus opposition, right? So this is another of the books. I have she has a lot of books, but I think I have 3. This is really beautiful. She has a way. This is very simple. You don't really have to. This is not like Ezra Pound of Mallarmé. This is easy, approachable. You can sit, have a tea with your book, and end up crying. Really, this is. She's so nice. I'm ready for you. I have always been ready for you. She speaks about love, how women love, and how we love. Sometimes we love in silence. Sometimes we can't be with the people that we love. Especially as immigrants, we always leave people behind. And we have to get used to love people from the distance, and all that love, we need an outlet, right? So poetry is very good for pouring out, and instead of getting sick with all the emotions, it's good to make art. That's why art has saved so many people, right? And when we are hurt, women, we carry so much pain. Really, if men knew how much pain we carry, probably they would treated us better. And this is Maya. Oh, she's also amazing. She's such a brave soul. Maya Angelou, amazing writer, amazing teacher, amazing woman, a black woman in the time. I mean, being black, it's already difficult. Being a black woman, it's hugely like immensely difficult. Being a writer in this society, a woman, a black woman writer, it's really, in this woman, really they have broken all the stereotypes, and they have been so brave. Let's read a little bit. The student. The dust of ancient pages had never touched his face, and fountains black and comely were mummied in a place beyond his young unknowing. The teacher. She shared the letter's strivings of etched pharaonic walls, and reconstruction's anguish resounded down the halls of all her dry dreams. Yeah, she's amazing. Poetry, it's like when you really can't deal with the world, you just immerse yourself in poetry, and you feel better, and it's like a dream, right? It's like I take a nap. I'm very bad at sleeping, so sometimes I just read, and it's like a travel. This book, it's amazing. Umberto Eco. This is Portuguese writer. This is all 20th century. Oh my God, he wrote the Rose. What's the name in English? I read it in Spanish. El nombre de la rosa, the name of the rose, probably. I don't know how's the name in English, but it was also a movie. Very famous movie, very interesting. But this book is so funny. This is to laugh. This is like to have a good laugh. How to travel with a salmon. It really there's this story of the salmon, and he writes about how can you travel in a train with a salmon. I remember that I laughed so much. Then there's like a how to. It's all about how to. So there's this type of books. I have some of that. How to do something. There's in Hispanic literature, there's a lot of how to walk, how to go up the stairs. Like it's just funny. It's a meditation on the everyday life, but sometimes writers they can fly so high. How to spend time, right? And it's all like that. When I call the dentist to make an appointment and he tells me that he does not have an hour free at any time in the coming week, I believe him. He's a serious professional. But when someone invites me to a conference or to a roundtable discussion or asks me to edit a fetish fest, oh my God, I don't know how to say that, or write an essay or join a panel of experts, and I say I haven't time, no one believes me. Come now, professor, he says. A person like yourself can always make time. Obviously, we humanists are not considered serious professionals. We are idlers. That's very true. I remember when I came here and I started making friends, and they asked me, all engineers, right? Because here is like the land of engineering. And I said, I do literature. Yeah, but what do you do for a living? And I was like, literature. And how you do that? What do you do with books? Well, I read them and I analyze them and I teach about them and I edit them and I whatever. No, I haven't read this, but it got my attention because it's a story that uses painters, right? Picasso, Matisse, and the Bird of Mother. But it's a novel. This is not a. I mean, it's a research, but it's like a novel research. This I bought when I was dating a person that was very political. I mean, her story is very interesting. This is another type of woman that really. Like Maya Angelou. This is a different story. I'm not gonna compare her with Maya Angelou, but she's another self-made black woman, very brave, very interesting. Her story, right? The way she becoming, and well, being the wife of a president has never been easy, right? Yeah, and there's like the letters of T.S. Eliot. Yeah, there's always very interesting. I like to read letters because you get to understand the authors better, like their life. They have a lot of struggle. Like people think that they're normal, but they're not. This is one of my favorite. I mean, I like him as he was my favorite author for many years. My son has read all his books. My son has the same of love for books. Since he was, I mean, I used to take him to university with me because I have him when I was 20. And so all my studies, he was with me. So he always saw me reading, writing, and with a book on my hands. So he grew up like that. And he was like a mascot in my school because if I had a test, I would go with my baby, right? And my friends and the teachers. It was a very open university, so they were very understanding of my need to study, even being a young woman with children. So they were very nice with me, and my son was very well behaved. So he breathed, he was breathing while he was growing up, all the literature and all this scholar environment. So now he's obviously a book. He's obsessed with books and movies. He's worse than me. Way worse. Like he reads more than I do now. Yeah, this is Chloe Arichis. This is I bought this book because it's the daughter of one of my teachers, that it's a great poet, a Mexican poet. But she studied in England. I don't know if in Oxford or Cambridge. And now she's famous and she writes in English. But his father was an amazing poet, and I love, there was a book of his father that is one of my favorite books ever, and that it's based on the period in Spain where the Jewish people were sent to the exile, right? And that book, oh my goodness, it really, I still have so much love for this book. And this Justin Gardner, it's very good. The title, The World According Anna, that's my name, Anna. And that's why I I have my Aquariana. It's because it combines Aquarius, because I'm an Aquarius rising, and Anna, my name. um, and this is, yeah, I have a lot of books that are like the classics. When you have a library in your house, you have to have a little bit of everything. Otherwise, it's not a library. If it's just one topic, it's not a library. That's your personal books. But when you have a library, you have a little bit of everything. And I have a library. I hope that one day, obviously, I have already the books that I have, I know who's gonna inherit them, because each one of my children have different likes, so I know where is going what. But obviously my eldest son is taking all the literature, all the everything from every time he comes, he takes like 10 or 20 books. The first he says, "Hey, mom," and then he goes to the books and starts stealing them. But I let him. Take whatever he likes. Yeah, the romantics. I love the romantics. It's probably my favorite period of literature. It's so different than now. I know that now everybody's like, oh, the romantics are the problem. Like the romantic experience has been doomed by all this literature, right? But they were living in a different world. Everything was different then. So it makes sense when you really immerse yourself in this world. You understand, like they really live with these ideals of the romantic love and perfection, and all these guys, they had like list of they would kill themselves. So they had like these clubs where they were all obviously there was a philosophical intention, like taking your life away, because the pain of the world and the pain of not having the love that you ideally were searching your entire life, that was real for them. It was not an invention. It was real. So they had these clubs where they were killing themselves every week, a different one, right? This Russian roulette, that's an invention of these guys. They will also took this beverage made with wormwood, a very interesting beverage that was like an alcoholic, but also it was like a drug. And they had this they were very crazy, like, I mean, if we see it from the perspective of our times, it was like they were a little bit cuckoo, right? But it's very interesting. Yeah, sometimes I think that I took this on one of these public libraries, that where you took one book and leave another one. I'm always leaving books, especially books that now I have a lot of kids books that my kids don't like anymore, and because kids no longer read, I just leave them in the library, in these little libraries. Kundera, this is one of my favorite novelists. He's Czech, from the Czech Republic, but he wrote most of his books with the socialists, when they were like it was not the Czech Republic, but Czechoslovakia. This is a very interesting author, very important in the 20th century literature. I love every book that I've read, but the heaviness, what's the name? I read this in Spanish, or the main book. Maybe it's here. let me see. The Unbearable Lightness of Being. That's the most important book that Kundera wrote. A very, very nice book. And it really makes you, it keeps you thinking about living and how we feel. It's a very philosophical novel. Very interesting. The Unbearable Lightness of Being. But this is good. This is more like... obviously, all these authors, they speak about their own experiences as men, right? It's completely different. And how they live their relationships and how they see women. And oh, beautiful, Leonard Cohen. Well, who doesn't know Leonard Cohen, right? I don't even have to say anything about him. Canadian, very interesting author. He died recently. I don't remember exactly when, like 4 or 5 years ago, probably more, probably 6. He has a lot of books of poems and stuff like that. Dylan Thomas, another war British, I think he was Irish. He was probably Irish, but he's considered like a British author. There's another movie about him, and I heard he had like two women, like a wife and a lover at the same time. That's very, I mean, they're men, right? I think that also the moment that women, I have a lot of friends, men, like most of my friends have been always men. So I know them very good, and I believe that when we as women, when we're ready to accept that men are the way they are and that they are different than us, we're gonna stop suffering so much. And men, they don't know how to be with just one woman. That's my experience. Every single man, every single friend that I've had have been cheating on at some point in their lives. Like they're like the curiosity of different experience. It's like men are like children, and I have 3 boys. So, and I see that. So probably when we stop believing in the romantic experience of, oh, just one man for my entire life and always faithful and always intense, and that's the moment we're gonna really move on with our partners, right? Because I'm not saying I like it, because I've had partners that have cheated on me, my husband and others, and it's not nice. But we really, they are who they are. Like, I don't know any man that doesn't have, like, at some point the need to go and try something else, even if they love you. This is like probably the thing that it's difficult for women to understand, that men, they have different needs, and sometimes it's very different from the needs that we have as women. So they don't get along. Our ideal of romanticism and our idea of relationship might be very different than the ones that they have. So that's why everything has to be done undercover, right? Like they have a relationship hidden from the woman, because they can't, and it's part of the feeling, right? To do it hidden, to do something that it's not. They're like that. They're like sometimes I even said to my friends, it's like, you're risking the best woman on your life just because you're fucking curious, right? But they are who they are, and we still have to love them, right? Or be alone, right? Sometimes it's just like my mother, for instance, after my father cheated on her, she never, and I know so many women, and I see it with my kids, the mothers or of their friends, they decided to just, after a bad experience, just to give up on love and give up on relationships, and they move on with their lives alone. But I don't know, I think that we have to give us always a second, a third, a fourth chance, right? Because love is very interesting, and we learn a lot about ourselves through relationship. This is Kafka. These are the cards that she wrote to Milena. Was her not editor, but like a friend that worked as an editor or with an editor, and they had like this relationship, and he wrote a lot of letters to this woman. It's very interesting to see the part, like the personal, that's why I like letters, the personal insight of authors. Oh my goodness, yeah, this is like 51 minutes, guys. But it's good to talk about books. And I have a lot of books about cats, and they're always Japanese. Obviously, Japanese are crazy about cats like me. Primo Levi. This is this guy. He was in Sobibor. He was in one of these German camps from the Nazis. He was Jewish, an Italian Jewish, and he was in Auschwitz actually, yeah. And he has these novels. Well, this is a different, but there's like in the autobiography, he wrote a book about the experience in Auschwitz, because we believe only what we see in novels, I mean in movies. But Auschwitz was like a living stuff, and they have I passed that through without saying anything about it, but I just saw it here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit clumsy today. This guy, he wrote about this is about the experience in Auschwitz as well, with the Nazis. This is another author, another Jewish author. These are great. Like this I've read a lot because I had a period where I studied the Spanish Civil War. That is really the beginning of the Second World War, and all the fascism. I was very interested in fascism, so I read thousands of books. So much that I'm done with this stuff. Like I can't see another movie, read another book, or even hear about Nazis anymore. It's like I'm done with that shit. It's so tough. But we believe that everybody was treated the same in the camps, and there was like a social status inside, and the writers had like a higher standard in the camps, so they were like privileged, because even for the Nazis, these were people that had a value. So they were in charge of other Jews. So sometimes that was like how mean this fascism is. I mean, the Nazis, right? They would force these guys that were all the intellectuals to organize and mistreat the other Jews too, because these were like the royalty of the camp. But the Nazis used this, their intelligence to create new ways. Oh my goodness, I laugh because I'm a Sag, and we always laugh when hard things happen. This is a way that Sagittarius deals with difficulty, hiding our feelings and laughing. But anyways, yeah, these are great. If you're interested, Primo Levi and Elie Wiesel Visa, probably. This is the trilogy. This is the one. You can see the cover says it all, right? These are, if you're ready to really a voice from the intellectuals that live through the camps, that's a good one. And I have puzzles of cats, obviously. This is my cat, Griselda Rose. I don't know why they're not here. They're here. Negro. Hey, wake up. Negrito. Ven. Come here, baby. This is my Negro. That's his name. In Spanish, means black. This is my black cat. He's the most loving. Come here, baby. Hola, baby. Say hi. He's just gonna jump over this. This is his bed. So he has like 20 different beds. Obviously, he sleeps with me in my bed. But this is mi Negrito. He's the most adorable cat with me. Just with me. He's a Scorpio, so he's just, we have this understanding. Yeah, baby. Hi. Say hi. 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 He's young. He's 5 years old. I have him since he was a baby, so he's now entirely mine. But anyways, I think this was a long, I don't think anybody will stay longer to look at this video, but anyways, that's me. I'm not in a rush. This is a very good, nice book. If you like witchery, all these books, practical magic. Now we're gonna have the new movie, right? All these books of witches. I mean, as a witch, it's all so exaggerated, right? It's like based on the medieval, I never read this, honestly. I have books that I don't even know where they came from, why they are here. Oh, this is another cat. This looks like the cat of my son. And this is my other cat. She passed away 4 years ago. Mi Cuca. Yeah, I have a lot of cat stuff. And I bought this when I went to Sydney. Not Sydney, Australia. Sydney, BC, British Columbia. It's a very nice, I mean, it's like a retirement colony. It's only, but if you want to go and rest near the ocean, that's a good option. I went there to read and just sit next to the water. And I bought this from the indigenous art. It's a hummingbird. And I did it right there because my daughter was very bored. So we did puzzles. So yeah, I like puzzles because they're like life, right? Anyways, guys, thank you for opening this box with me. I hope one of these books inspire you to go to the bookstore, the library, and read. We need more reading. We need less social media. And I know that I'm in social media, but that's part of the deal, to teach different things on social media. So let's read, guys. It's good for the soul, it's good for the brain, it's good for you, because you will always have something to talk about. Like sometimes I go out and I see people, like partners, couples, and they're only in the phone, and it's because they don't have a topic to talk about. So if you read, you always have something to talk about. So that's really amazing. And this is food for the soul, really. Every time you finish a story, my daughter is finishing, she's a great reader as well. I have four. Two are very good readers. The other two, they only read comics and manga. They're obsessed with manga. So it's okay, they still read. But it's a different type of reading. But my daughter is reading all these new books that for the new authors. I don't even know their names. But this is like the Inheritance Club or something like that. She's reading, like she read the saga. It's like 7 books. She just finished the 7th, and I don't know, 6 months or something like that. And they're huge, they're very chunky books. So whatever you want to read, it's okay. The act of reading is what matters. So take care, please like and subscribe. That would help this channel to move, and probably this voice to get where it has to. So, okay. Anyways, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Take care. We are still during the season of eclipses, so be very careful with what you do. Bye bye.